Not all pigs are created equal, and some of the best ones are on the edge of disappearing. While most of the pork in grocery stores today comes from just a few hyper-efficient breeds, there's a world of heritage pigs that were once staples of small farms and homesteads across America. These pigs were hardy, self-sufficient, and raised on pasture and forage, not concrete and soy. Today we're taking a look at some of the rarest pig breeds still alive in the U.S. and asking, should they make a comeback?
Why heritage pig breeds matter. Heritage pig breeds aren't just old. They're built differently. These are animals that thrived before industrial farming took over. They were selected for traits like strong foraging instincts, good mothering ability, toughness in rough weather, and flavorful. Marbled meat that chefs still rave about today. But the thing is, they don't fit into modern confinement systems. They grow slower. They don't thrive on grain alone. They don't pack on weight fast enough to meet industrial timelines. So, over the last century, many of these breeds were pushed aside in favor of pigs that grow quickly in small pens and work in industrial systems. The result? We now have fewer than a dozen pig breeds dominating the global pork market, and dozens more vanishing quietly. Why does that matter? Because once a breed disappears, we lose genetic traits that may never come back. Traits like parasite resistance, heat tolerance, or the ability to thrive on nothing but grass, roots, and scraps. For regenerative farmers, homesteaders, or anyone looking to raise pigs in a more natural system, these rare breeds might be the key to a more resilient, land-based way of farming. And today, we're shining a light on the ones that are hanging on by a thread, starting with one of the most ancient American breeds still alive, the Choctaw hog. Choctaw hog. Start with one of the oldest and rarest pig breeds in North America, the Choctaw hog. These pigs trace their ancestry back to the Spanish hogs brought to the southeast by explorers in the 1500s. Over time, they became deeply entwined with the Choctaw Nation, who developed and maintained the breed for centuries as part of their food and cultural systems. Choctaw hogs are small, hardy, and extremely self-sufficient. They thrive in forested or brushy environments, making them ideal for silvopasture or woodland-based systems. They'll happily browse on acorns, roots, native plants, and anything they can dig up, which means you don't need to rely heavily on grain. They have long snouts, upright ears, and often a dark or mottled coat. These aren't show pigs. They're survivors. In fact, they're survivors. In fact, they've been called one of the most disease-resistant and parasite-tolerant breeds still around. But they're vanishing. There are fewer than 200 registered breeding animals left in the U.S. today. Most are in small conservation herds or under tribal protection. And because they're so rare and not particularly profitable in industrial terms, there's not much infrastructure to support them. Should they make a comeback? Absolutely. If you're a farmer looking to restore land, reduce feed bills, and bring back native adapted livestock, the Choctaw hog deserves your attention. Its ability to thrive on rough forage, root responsibly, and coexist with wooded or marginal pastures makes it a perfect match for regenerative systems that value resilience over high input. Next up, the Mulefoot hog, a breed as unique as its name suggests. These pigs get their name from their most famous feature, a solid fused hoof that looks like a mule's. Unlike most pigs, which have cloven hooves, the Mulefoot has just one, no split. It's a rare genetic trait, and this is the only pig breed in the world known to consistently carry it. But it's not just their feet that make them special. Mulefoots were once common throughout the Mississippi River Valley, prized by farmers for their calm nature, disease resistance, and easy keeping. They're medium-sized pigs, usually black with a muscular build, and they thrive on pasture with minimal input. They're also known to be excellent mothers, and their temperament is usually quite mellow, making them a great choice for smaller farms or anyone new to pigs. Meat? Rich, dark, and deeply flavorful. Chefs who've had the chance to cook with Mulefoot pork will tell you it's something special. It has marbling that's closer to heritage beef than commercial pork, which makes it ideal for slow roasts and charcuterie. So why did they fall out of favor? Same story. They grow slower and they don't fit into confinement systems. By the 1980s, only a handful of Mulefoots were left, and they nearly went extinct. Today, Dedicated breeders are working to bring them back, but their numbers are still critically low. If you want a pig that can thrive on forage, produce excellent pork, and help conserve critically low. If you want a pig that can thrive on forage, produce excellent pork, and help conserve rare genetics, the Mulefoot hog is one worth considering. Ossabaw Island hog. Now let's talk about a pig that's practically feral and built like a survivalist. The Ossabaw Island hog. These pigs are descendants of Spanish swine brought to the Georgia coast in the 1500s, left to roam wild on Ossabaw Island for centuries. Isolated on that barrier island, they evolved in harsh, resource-limited conditions, developing a supercharged metabolism that makes them incredibly efficient at turning forage into fat. That makes them tough as nails, but also challenging to raise. Ossabaws are smaller than commercial breeds, usually black or mottled, with long snouts and a lean build. They're smart, athletic, and very hardy, but also highly independent. They're not the type to greet you at the gate or lay down for a belly rub. These pigs want to roam, dig, and live wild. Because of their history, they have some incredible adaptations, high tolerance for heat and humidity, the ability to thrive on rough forage and acorn strong disease resistance, and the meat. It's next level. Rich, nutty, dark, and marbled. Some chefs compare it to Iberico pork from Spain, and it's a favorite for slow-aged charcuterie. Why aren't more people raising them? Mostly because they're not beginner pigs. They're hard to fence, quick on their feet, and can get wily if not handled early. And their metabolism, while great for survival, means they store fat fast, which can be tricky to manage on rich pasture. But for farmers with woodland or brushy land who want low input, high-quality pork with deep roots in American history, the Ossabaw might be the ultimate conservation pig. Large black pig. If the Ossabaw is the wild child, the large black is the laid-back homesteader. Originally from England, the large black was known for two things, its massive size and its gentle nature. True to its name, it's a big, solid black pig with long, floppy ears that often hang over its eyes, making it look like a sleepy cartoon character. But don't be fooled by the chill demeanor. This pig is a pasture-grazing machine. Large blacks are one of the best breeds for forage-based pork systems. They'll root, graze, and even clip grass like a lawnmower. They convert rough forage into delicious pork, which has a creamy fat cap and a naturally tender texture. The meat is prized for its flavor and old-school richness. They're also excellent mothers with large litters, very docile. Great for families or first-time pig owners, efficient grazers, needing less grain than commercial breeds. So what happened? They fell out of favor in the U.S. by the mid-1900s because they didn't fit confinement systems. Like many heritage breeds, they grow slower and need space to roam. But for regenerative or rotational grazing systems, they might be one of the best-kept secrets in sustainable pork. Their numbers are critically low, but they're gaining popularity again with small farms and pasture-based operations who want flavor, function, and pasture-based operations who want flavor, function, and a calm, reliable pig in the paddock. Honorable mentions. Threatened breeds. Not all endangered pigs are on the brink of extinction. Some are starting to gain traction again, thanks to small farms, homesteaders, and people like you who care about keeping heritage genetics alive. Let's take a quick look at a few threatened breeds that might be a great fit for regenerative farms. Gloucestershire Old Spots. These spotted pigs from England were once called orchard pigs because they cleaned up windfall apples and grazed under fruit trees. They're calm, excellent foragers, and produce rich, marbled pork. They were nearly lost to industrial pork systems, but now they're making a comeback, especially with farmers looking to pair fruit trees and livestock. Oh, and extra points for adorable. Definitely a breed worth considering if you want easy keepers and premium pork. Meishan. Originally from China, the Meishan is one of the oldest domesticated pig breeds in the world. They're a medium, wrinkly, and incredibly prolific, often having litters of 20 piglets. A world record litter of 37 piglets was born to sow 570. A Meishan crossed large white Duroc on the 21st of September 1993 at Mr. and Ms. M.P. Ford's Eastfield House Farm in Melbourne, York, UK. Of the 36 piglets that were born alive, 33 survived.
They're known for their docile nature and low feed requirements. While not as meaty as other breeds, they're excellent for breeding programs and rotational grazing systems. There's growing interest in crossing Meisans with other heritage breeds to improve fruit fertility and mothering. Guinea hog. These small, black pigs were once a staple on southern homesteads, hardy, smart, and easy to manage. Guinea hogs are amazing for small spaces or family farms. They don't root as aggressively, making them ideal for gardens or orchards. Their pork is flavorful, making them ideal for gardens or orchards. Their pork is flavorful, and their low-maintenance nature makes them a great starter pig for beginners. Be aware they are small, so this tends to be a breed people slaughter themselves since they don't reach large butcher sizes. This is a breed that definitely deserves a second chance. Red wattle. These striking pigs, with their signature red color and dangling wattles, are gentle giants. Originally from the south, red wattles grow large and thrive on pasture and produce delicious lean meat with a unique flavor. They're gaining popularity again, but still face genetic bottlenecks. Their size and temperament make them ideal for serious pasture-based operations. While these breeds aren't critically endangered, they are still threatened and in need stewards to keep them going. The more we raise them, the more we protect the genetic diversity and resilience of our food system.
Every pig breed we've talked about today, whether critical or threatened, represents more than just genetics. These animals carry the stories of regions, cultures, and farming systems that worked with nature, not against it. In a world where most pork comes from a handful of fast-growing commercial breeds, these heritage pigs offer something different: resilience, flavor, and a return to values that prioritize land stewardship and animal well-being. If you're thinking about adding pigs to your homestead or farm, consider one of these rare breeds. You won't just be raising pork, you'll be helping save a living piece of agricultural history. Let me know in the comments. Have you raised any heritage pig breeds? Are you considering one of these for your farm? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to help more people discover the value of heritage livestock.